Okay, hey Scrummies, if you're looking for some practical hands-on advice with lots of example that how you can transfer your organization from doing agile to being agile, then this session is for you. Friends, before we start, if you are new to our channel, please do subscribe for valuable content on Agile Scrum and don't forget to like this video. Your one like is a big motivation for all of us. So with this thought, let's welcome Venkat. Hello Venkat and welcome to Career Talk and thanks for giving your time today.
Thank you so much, Sunan. I should say that I should be very thankful to you because this is an opportunity for me to get to reach to so many people through career talks. It's my privilege to be there here with you today. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thanks Venkat. Okay, so would you like to tell us about yourself and you can share your screen as well?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Before I getting into the the talk that which I'm getting into, let me first introduce. I'll share my screen quickly. Can you confirm whether you are seeing my screen?
Yes, perfect. If you can do F5, that will be great. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Once again, thank you all for joining this session today with me. And this is Venkat here, Venkat Vandrangi, also known as Van. 3 letters from first name and 3 letters from last name. I made it as Van. And most of my friend circle people know about me as Van. I am a continuous learner and a happy going individual. LPG is my motivating and happiness fuel. You may ask me what is LPG? Continuous listening music and playing with pets and gardening. This is my LPG, which fuels my happiness. Mostly, I am happy, helpful, and humble. And career journey started with mainframes, then project leader, then project manager, program manager, Scrum Master, and Agile Coach now currently. And I'm passionate about talking on happiness and health, and I aim to be becoming a TEDx speaker, want to go beyond with passion. So this is about me in brief. And here the most liked quote. In fact, there are many quotes that I came up with my own. And one of the quote that you see here, it is, brain is the biggest asset one can have. So to keep it AAA rated, agile, alert, and active, one should be continuously learning. Learn a new skill, learn a new language that keeps brain AAA active. Continuous learning also makes one looking younger. So this is what about me, myself. So let me get into today's topic. The topic name is doing agile and being agile. You may ask me why I came up with this. In fact, this is not a new thing in the industry, doing agile and being agile. It has been there for quite some time. And actually speaking, there are some practical examples which prompted me to come to this and to prepare this session and PPT. In my earlier organizations where I worked as Agile Coach, Scrum Master, we are a group of 10 people, 10 Scrum Masters in one department. We all meet together once in a week. It's kind of, you may call it a scrum, you may call it as anything. It is a meetup once in a week. We 10 Scrum Masters gather together to exchange our experience, lessons learned, all these things that we were doing. So these 10 Scrum Masters, we all felt that we've been attending so many meetings in a day. And most of our time are going only for attending meetings. And which prompted me to come up with, why not I can come up with some kind of tracker, because we are doing many trackers by the time, many Excel sheets, many versions, many revised, updated final drafts, I would say. So many such kind of doings that we were doing. Having that, I came up with an initiative that why can't I come up with an Excel simple tracker where I can track all the meetings that we are attending by then. So among the 10 people that we are Scrum Masters, we started that for about a sample period of 2 months. I requested all the Scrum Masters to enter into that Excel tracker what and all meetings that they attended on a daily basis at the end of the day. So this 2 months capture, because it was very much difficult for me to run behind each of these 10 Scrum Masters to make them updating, because that is again, it takes time. People were in busy. They were not getting time even to work on because of the meetings. So somehow that 2 months sample that I took, I would definitely say that within these 2 months, these 10 people wouldn't have fully entered into that Excel tracker, which I was requesting, because of so many reasons. So whatever that they entered into the Excel tracker, I figured out and I analyzed, looking at how much time with respect to their daytime, say for example, 8 hours of work. Out of 8 hours, how much time it is going for just for meeting. So I found it is 65%. 65% out of their 8 hours a day time was going only on meetings. The two based on whatever the they entered into my Excel tracker. So definitely it would have been even more. So for this 65%, I again analyzed Google to get what could be the average or industry best practice or industry average percentage for a middle management people like Scrum Masters, Agile coaches in this way. Where I found it is around, the industry standard is somewhere around 35% on an average. That again, it is not certified by someone, but it's on an average, which is allowable for a middle management people to attend 35% of time in a day-to-day, in a daily activities. So there is a huge gap, 35 here, 65 there. There is a huge gap. So then I analyzed further, looking into what are the useful meetings, what can be avoided, what other meetings that we can sort out in a various other ways, like getting into Teams charts, getting into posting a common message in a Teams group. In this way that we figured it out, and later we brought it down to somewhere around 40 to 45%. So the point I would like to bring it here is, we were doing and doing for the sake of doing, as I can say, it is just outside cosmetic way of doing, saying that we are complete agile, we are full agile. So there are many aspects we are looking at only for to be cosmetic at the surface level. That is one aspect. And another aspect, I think this is the common across the industry, many companies, many organizations are going with, because when they talk about metrics, measures, definitely in Agile Scrum area, it would come with cycle time, it would come with velocity. So these are the base primary measures which one cannot escape, and these are the major metrics one has to initially start with also, I can say. But actually speaking, if you are really focusing on cycle time or velocity to improve upon, that shouldn't be your aim. That shouldn't be focused yet. That is not your primary focus. It could be a byproduct. Value delivery, where the principles of Agile 12 principles, value delivery should be your aim, not that reducing the cycle time, not that increasing the velocity. If you are asked to per your KPIs or OKRs, whatever you call, definitely I can make out increasing the velocity quarter on quarter. Definitely I can make out reducing the cycle time quarter on quarter. But that wouldn't result at the ground level. So that's what I had seen at the time. But the thing is, since the environment where I was working in, it was not supporting whatever that I was saying. Actually, that was being agile. It's not that just doing agile, looking at the numbers, looking at the percentages, looking at the trends, aiming at the trends to be improved. These are not the metrics actually speaking. These are just look backs. If you agree or not, either velocity or a cycle time, these are just look backs. Ultimately, what makes value, what the ground level, what makes value is value delivered to the customer. And have the frequent communication. Empower the team. Give them a failure-safe environment. Respect them, trust them. These are the points which can come under being agile. So having this experience I have had in my earlier organization, I thought I can come up with this presentation today. I guess most of the point that I have already given with my examples, but anyway, let me get into the slides which I have today. Closely observe this figure, this picture, the first picture. If you don't have any clue, I can give you the clue. And closely observe this second picture. This is very much understandable, and this is nature cycle, and this is a transformation from a caterpillar getting transformed into butterfly, beautiful butterfly. Now coming back to the first image here, if you see, I literally stapled. If you see here, I literally stapled the butterfly wings to the caterpillar, giving a picture that it looks like butterfly, but it cannot fly. This cannot fly, and this is not butterfly. Outside, cosmetically, and it looks beautiful and looks like butterfly, but this is not a butterfly. This is what happening in the industry now. If you agree or not, if you are denying, I don't have anything to say about. This is what is happening. So the first picture, what you see, is just tool adoption, just jargon adoption, which we think that it is that we are agile, but actually not. So the first picture is adoption. Second picture is actual transformation. From one state to another state, you're completely changing from one state to another state. So this transformation journey, this takes mindset change, and this takes time. It cannot happen overnight. So this is where the difference, what I felt that I could bring out the differences between doing agile and being agile today. Hope I am making sense with this picturization here. In the first picture, it is just adoption, tool adoption, jargoning, and these metrics and running behind the metrics. These are not agile. Now, moving on to second slide, this slide I wanted to bring it here for my reference to support what I'm talking about. Many of you would have already seen the Agile Maturity iceberg, where the above water you see tools, processes, and practices, predominantly tools and practices, what we are doing. And the underneath water is the one which is not visible or less visible, but yet very highly impactful over a period of time. These are MVP, mindset, values, and principles, because these are the ones which drive the iceberg. Mindset, value, principle, these are the ones which are required for transformation, not just tool adoption on the outside. The outside, above water, what you see, practices and tool, you may say that we are doing agile, but that is not. So that is the picture. You may be already aware of this in the industry. So this picture, I wanted to bring it here to support what I'm talking about. And also the 12 agile principles, which I need to support my whatever that I'm going to talk in the next slides. So if you see these 12 agile principles, we are all familiar. We may even mug up these. We may even by heart these. But those are all just talking. Those are all just talking, not at the heart level. So we know the principles, but how far that we are practically implementing this, practically following this, a big question mark. Really, I would say it's a big question mark. We all know these principles. Now, what can come under doing agile? Coming to this point, I'm coming back to my topic. Adopted tools, jargons, defined workflow in Jira or Adobe board, whichever tool that you are using. Defined Kanban board, setting sprints, Jira boards, divided work into smaller. Yes, we work in Agile, so we divide the work into smaller. Following the ceremonies without fail with the recurring meeting invites. Set the metrics, run behind the metrics, generate the reports for the management. So I don't think that anyone can deny this fact that these are all the things are being done across industry, any organization if you take across. So these are all doing agile, just doing agile mechanically. There is no empathy, there is no emotion tied to that, completely mechanical, doing agile. Now coming to the flip side, the other side, being agile. So what can come under being agile? True transformation, which I had seen, which I had showed to you, the second picture where the butterfly, the caterpillar getting transformed into butterfly, beautiful butterfly. That is the one true transformation, which takes time. Applied agile mindset. Mindset, it is not that easy that as we say. It requires from top to bottom, and it has to get into the DNA of the organization. And it comes up with the culture, organizational culture. So it cannot happen overnight. Value the valuables and principles. Whatever been stated there in Agile manifesto or in principles, value them. Practically apply them and embrace manifesto. So these are the points can come under being Agile. Deep spirit of Agile. Most of the times while doing Agile, you may say that, yes, we are working in Agile Scrum, but there is no spirit in it. Some people may not even know, say for example, people who didn't experience in waterfall way of execution or millennium people, they don't know how it was being earlier days. So most of the people, they don't even know what the spirit of Agile, but they work under Agile environment and they feel that they are doing Agile. And walk the talk, meaning whatever you say, you do, and you do whatever that you say. Practically, you're applying and bringing the mindset onto the board, onto the table, into the company's culture and the DNA. That is the one walk the talk. Sense of ownership. When you consider being agile, we embrace change, we embrace manifesto. The sense of ownership automatically comes from the ground level workers, that is the ground level people who developers. And the most, though that it has been said in the last, ERT exhibited. I would say this is the most, and this is the core part, heart, I would say. Empathize, respect, and trust the teams, employees, whoever working in. So that makes the team to be owning the work. That makes the team to pull the work onto them, not then push. So that is the one which brings the major difference when you see, and this cannot happen overnight. And this has to be percolated from top to bottom, and it has to get into a culture of DNA level. That's where it is so much important. Empathize, respect, and trust. We all know respect and trust are the values, Scrum values. Many of the people, not many, I would say everyone who talks about Scrum would know the 5 values. But how many that we are practically implementing? Big question mark. So this is why this ERT, empathize, respect, and trust, these are very much required, not only required just for the sake of saying word, but they required to be practically exhibited on ground. So this is where these are the set which can come under being agile, and these are the set can come under doing agile. I hope you are now getting the difference between and why this is being agile different from doing agile. I'm talking about why that this topic is about. When it comes to next level, one-to-one compare. It is just one-to-one compare between doing agile and being agile. In doing agile, and again I would say one point here, disclaimer, whatever that I say here under doing agile may not be 100% right. Certain things may be exaggerated, but still to bring out differences between doing agile and being agile, I was supposed to use the extreme words here. But definitely with respect to the extreme word, this side and this side, there are a lot of difference. Doing agile, avoid change. Avoid change or accept change, that does not mean accept requirement change even on the sprint to day, even on the sprint to demo day. I have experienced many times that my teams were accepting requirement changes even on the sprint to demo day. Either accept change, avoid change does not mean that accepting or avoiding requirements. It is not just requirement just to doing, but actually it is not. Avoid change or welcome change, this side and this side. Change could be a way of working. Change could be of mindset. Change could be of people gelling together. Change could be overall environment. This is where I am referring to a change. People be generally reluctant to any change. Again, I'm saying it is not a change in requirement. People avoid change. When they're doing agile, they avoid change. When they are confined to one Jira board, they are confined to one tool, Jira tool, for example, they avoid change. We are doing this dashboard is like this. Why can't we try a different kind of dashboard? They avoid. They may be reluctant. They resist the change. But when it comes to being agile, they are always open to change. They embrace change. In the doing agile side, you see failure, punish failure. People feel they may be punished if a failure. With this, what general tendency would be, the ground level team member would never try any new way. They would never look for any innovation because the fear hangs on their neck. But here in the being agile, celebrate failure. Again, a point here. Celebrate failure, that doesn't mean that you celebrate and really go to a bar or somewhere to enjoy. No. Celebrate failure means we say fail fast. So fail fast, that does mean that you're failing fast. So the correction cost would be the very minimal, the most possible minimal at that level if you fail fast. Because you will get to know, okay, what to be done, what not to be done, which way this should have been done. In general, they say, for example, if you take waterfall way of traditional old execution way, the weekly status report goes on every week on a particular day, same time. Green status. I'm talking about red, amber, green status. Green over a period of time every week. One fine day, one fine week, it turns into red all of a sudden. Do you mean that all of a sudden the project turned into red? No. Things would have been under the mat over a period of time. That is the day, that is the week, that is the day that you would have informed to client stating that we are in so and so problems. But that is not the way. So if any failure, you fail fast so that you get to know immediately and you can correct at minimal cost. So that is where that you celebrate failure. So having the celebrate failure and providing the failure safe environment to the team, definitely they would come up with the new things. Definitely they would come up with the innovative things, and they would experiment many things. Because they are not bound to a frame. In the first way, doing Agile, seldom learning, and here always learning. Because you always try to learn. The reason is that it allows you to experiment in many ways. So failure is not a failure. As long as it is a learning, it is a learning. So always there is scope for learning here. Fear uncertainty, embrace certainty, and embrace uncertainty. People second and people first. This is the first point I would say when it comes to the difference between doing Agile and being Agile. People second here, people first here. Yes, people first. That is where that I say empathize, respect, and trust. Then people would be ready to do anything for you. Richard Branson, a famous businessman, you may be knowing about him. He says that clients are not first, people are first, employees are first. Value the employees, take care of employees, they take care of your clients. So like that, people are first. Empathize, respect, and trust them. Definitely they would come up with so many solutions, so many innovations and creations. So people first here, people second here. Limited collaboration, full collaboration. Value apathy and value ovation. In the first way, uninterested, which leads to they don't care about the value delivery. They don't care. They can be coming up with the dysfunction, many dysfunction. They don't inattentive to results. Whatever happening, let it happen. But here it is value ovation because you are giving such an environment to the team, people, the Scrum teams, on the ground level workers, so that they can always look at value delivery. So this is where these two are different. As I initially said before this slide start, these wordings may be slightly exaggerated, but to keep the differences between the doing Agile and being Agile, certain words I'm supposed to use, but actually it is true. There is a huge gap between doing Agile and being Agile. Now, okay, now we got what is the doing Agile and what is the being Agile. Now we can get into what if I do only doing Agile, and what if it is only being Agile. We have to look at that aspect as well. You see here, if you do only do mechanical, complete mechanical routine without true purpose and spirit, why you are doing, what for that you are doing, everyone is asked to, we are doing. Tools to generate OKR reports, and these reports to be submitted to management on a frequently basis. Stuck up with the process and tools. I'm repeating. Stuck up with process and tools, which is against the manifesto which is there in Agile manifesto. Individuals and interactions over process and tools, we only say. But by only doing all the Jira board, Auto boards, or really any tool that you are using, any process that you are following, any framework for that matter, any framework. So these frameworks, again, you are going back. You are bringing so many things, so many constraints, or so many process and tools around. At the same time that you are saying being simple, I would bring up this slide again. You see, keep it simple. This is one of the principles, but how far that we are following? No, we are not following. If you take many framework that are in industry market now and many certifications around, what they are really doing, we are again going back. So here, stuck up with process and tools against manifesto. Glamorous on the surface, yes, we talk so many things. We talk frameworks, we talk ceremonies, we talk certification, we use jargons, and so many things that we generate dashboards. All the things are very much glamorous. But actually speaking on the ground, are we really delivering the value? A doubt. I don't say no, but a doubt, a big doubt. Now, coming to what if only being? There are cons on the only being also. Whatever that you are talk, you walk the talk the walk, do what you say and say what you do. If it is not, it just talk the talk. Meaning, you're all the time that you are talking, you are not doing at all. At heart, yes, you respect team members, you trust team members, you empathize, everything that you have, everything emotionally, everything you have at heart. But you are not doing anything yet. You are not doing anything on ground. So that becomes talk the talk. At heart and mind, but nothing on ground. Now, a question mark. So what is the thing now it is required? In actual agile way and what the Scrum prescribes. If you see, the Scrum prescribes just 12-page document, that is the Scrum base level, that is the building block, I would say. If you follow that just 12-page document at heart and execute, that is more than anything else. That is more than any framework. Why to bring up all these jargons and frameworks, certifications, all the things? Why to unnecessarily? We say that keep it simple, at the same time we are making it, keep it complex. So if you only being talk the talk and at heart and in mind, but nothing on ground. So my point is, get the benefit of doing and get the benefit of being, and club mix these both and execute and exhibit the, even if it is a minimum, that ensure that it is exhibited and practically exhibited on the ground all the times. That is more than anything else. That is where I say, just to follow the 12-page Scrum, that is more than enough. And also, you don't need to mug up all the 12 principles where you are not following. Just take some subset of 12 principles, maybe 9 or 10 or 8 or 9, whichever applicable for you, and go ahead with that. But ensure you follow practically all these subset of principles all the time. So that is more than anything else. So that is the point that I would like to bring in here. Not just doing is good, not just being is good. Both required. So if you see, if you do only, these are the cons. If you see only being, these are the cons. So you have to have both mix up. Now, so how to bridge? Create a failure safe environment. This is the first thing that I was talking about. When people feel safe, when the ground level developer feels that I am safe, even if I try and fail, my job is okay. Even if I try and fail, my continuation to project is okay. Then I would bring about many options. I would think about creatively. I would think about innovatively to figure out many innovative solutions. But if I am constrained to a particular environment, a frame, definitely I would not come up with. So create failure safe environment and resort on 12 principles. It is not that mandatory you should get into all the 12 principles. Take even a subset, but execute practically on ground, even a subset all the times. And next, create innovative ways to improve process and communication. It's not that you should use Jira for that matter. Again, I said, it is just a tool adoption. You may not even have a tool also, but still you can do, you can deliver value in Agile Scrum way, being in Agile Scrum way, and doing the minimal required all the times, 100% of times. I realize that success requires willingness to learning, willingness to innovate, willingness to change. That word I say requires willingness to learn, innovate, and change. That is the most thing that which is required. Even the Scrum also says that inspect and adopt. That is where that we do retrospections, right? So it is very much required. to move forward and create coffee loops, continuous feedback loops to change the direction and per the business demands. Whatever the business demands, which towards the value delivery, get the continuous feedback and change accordingly, do the course correction, inspect and adopt. So these are the things that which one has to practice at heart, do that with a spirit. Definitely there would be a difference in executing agile way of execution. That is the point that I would like to bring in here. And these are the things which bridge just doing and just being. One more point. Make cultural change top to bottom and live with it. Management may always look for the numbers, statistics, numbers and percentages and improvement over trends. Yes, numbers required, I agree, I don't deny that. And if you do in certain way, and if you are being agile, and if you allow team to take some time to get onto the transformation journey from, definitely the value delivery would be have that value delivery be your primary focus. All the rest would automatically fall in place. So when you have the value delivery as your aim, the rest things would definitely be all falling automatically into fall in place. Rest things, I mean, like cycle time improvement, reduction of cycle time, it would automatically come in. You don't need to wait for, you don't need to aim for. Velocity improve, you don't need to aim for it. It would become a byproduct. So you aim for value delivery. While aiming the value delivery and respecting the team and empathizing the team, respecting the team and giving the failure safe environment, definitely rest all what you think would become your byproducts. You don't need to aim for. So that is the point I would like to bring up here. A difference between doing agile and being agile, and how to maximize, so how to bridge. So these are the points which I thought I would share with you today with my experience I earlier started with. So that's about my topic and my session today. Thank you. So any questions, welcome.
Hey, thanks a lot, Venkat, for this great session. So I have seen a couple of times that all these points which you mentioned about being agile is really good. We as a Scrum Master really want to implement those values and all those things. But then the directive of our management is somewhat different. Sometimes we as a Scrum Master want to do a lot of things which are there. Forget about being agile, even doing agile. They struggle for doing agile. So what is your take in that? Most of the time our own delivery managers, our own project managers, our own clients, they say that okay, we don't bother about whether you do it with agile or any other thing. We just want our delivery to be made on time. So how to make them understand? Because I just keep on getting this kind of question. So if you want to share your thought, Venkat, on this.
Yeah, definitely. I would say, see, Sunanda, my point is ultimately for any business running the business, value delivery is the point. With keeping the changing demands in the market, that makes everyone to be agile. Not only in the software IT industry, but also in our personal life even. It is completely volatile. In fact, my heading, if you had seen in the very first slide, we are living in a VUCA world: volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. With this volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world, we are always we are always forced to keep options open until last minute. You have to, there is no other go. So having this, it making us, even in our personal life, we have to be agile. Means respond to change, quick respond to change. So that is happening even for business also. That is where that we are into Agile Scrum. Not only just personal, but also for business. Not only for business, for also for personal life. So having this response to change, quickness, alertness, you might have seen many disruptive changes like WhatsApp, Uber, Ola. So the market demands are changing, ever changing. So having this, the business demands change. We have to accept change, yes, and we have to execute in Agile Scrum way, yes, which means that you focus on the top priority. You focus on top priority and develop and give for feedback from the client. So that is what Agile recommends. But if client says that whichever way that you do, whichever way that you do, I don't care, but I have to get my development done. There is a lot of difference, because if you see, we all, whoever having 15 to 20 years of IT experience by now, would have experienced the waterfall way of execution, where we had a lot of uncertainties. Though that uncertainties we had planned, and lot of risks, everything that we had, but still we had MPP plan, where you didn't know that who is the R1, R2, resource 1, resource 2, resource 3, we planned for. But the cases of success were many minimal within the constraints of time, cost, scope. But when it comes to this way of execution, we all know the risks are very minimal. You are taking only a portion, and you are going with that only portion into delivering to the client. So getting the feedback continuously. So the risks are eliminated and you are getting immediate feedback. So this is where you are delivering value. So the value delivery and execution definitely has to go from in this way only going forward. But what makes difference is, ultimately, if you go with the command and control, either by management or by client, ultimately, if you assign tasks, ultimately, if you have certain frames that you are making team members to work within that constrained frames, I would say, definitely you would not see value. Definitely. It wouldn't give any room for any chance for thinking innovatively or creatively. So we have to leave it open to the teams. We say teams, they are like one of the principle. The most emerging designs come from the developers, the developing team, the ground level workers, because they know that. So if you empower them in such a way, it would definitely come value. Value will definitely be delivered if it is so. But if you put so many constraints in all the direction, definitely it would be like operation success, but patient time, I would say.
Thanks, Venkat. Thanks a lot. Okay, so friends, I hope you will get a lot of benefit from this session. Personally, I have learned a lot of new concept, new acronyms today. So thank Venkat, and I hope like we will have more sessions from you in future, Venkat. So with this thought, thanks a lot.
Sure, Sunand. Thank you so much. I should say it is a privilege for me. Again, I'm repeating, to be with Career Stock, to get connected with many people. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.